Yo, what is popping, guys? We are finally here with season 4 of the NPL. It's week 1. Been a while since we had the draft. My draft analysis went up like over a month ago, I think, or about a month ago. Maybe like only 3 weeks, but finally we are here with our God squad, and we are facing my boy Davion, aka NoivernNation, and his Nevada Noiverns in the first week of this league. Last season we only finished 7-5 and lost pretty unlucky, I would say, in the first round of the playoffs. But this year, obviously, we're trying to win the title finally again. We won the title in season 1, made it to the semis in season 2, obviously. Then had the first round exit last season, and now we are trying to win the title again. And I'm positive that we have a very solid shot at doing so. So we are facing Davion week 1. Like I know him really well, one of my oldest friends or longest friends in the community, longtime member of the ITL, longtime member of the NPL, one of the OGs actually. He has played in all 4 seasons. He made the playoffs twice, I think. Last season he had little bit of a rough stretch, but he was rewarded with the first pick, and yeah, he cooked up pretty interesting squad. So let's hop right into the builder, I would say. See here my first mon, obviously I'm bringing back. Let's have a look first at Davion's squad. So, as you see, he brings the Magiana, Mega Sableye, Entei, Amoonguss, Alomomola, Dugtrio, Blastoise, Espeon, Lucario, Rotom Fan, and Tyrantrum. His Z-move users are, I think, Magiana and Blastoise. Pretty positive. And yeah, looking at the squad, it's, I would say, a stall squad, or at least very bulky. Don't know if he will hit me with hard stall, because hard stall will just lose to some of my mons, but you never know with Davion. He is like um, always goes with some pretty interesting sets, cooking up some heat here and there. But sometimes he also likes to bring some very fat stuff. So I'm trying to be ready for all of that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, I really expect him to bring like the Magiana, the Mega Sableye, the Entei, then his Regen Core, and probably the Dugtrio. Like I really see his top 6 coming. Maybe he throws in some Lucario in there over like potentially Entei. But besides that, I don't see Rotom Fan coming. I don't see Tyrantrum coming. Espeon probably won't come when he has a Mega Sableye to like bounce back the hazard. Blastoise might come, so he has a potential what's it called, a potential spinner, but Mega Sableye basically prevents any of my rockers from getting up rocks, so that's kinda unfortunate, but we have to play around it. Obviously, Dugtrio is a huge nuisance to my team. It just traps Zardex, potentially traps what's called Nidoking, it traps Registeel. It's just like it's super annoying to play around because like some of these mons that Dugtrio actually traps are kind of crucial to win the game. So I have to play around the Dugtrio really well. If he doesn't bring the Dugtrio, I'd be very surprised. But yeah, we'll see about that. So let's hop right into the builder. The first one I brought is the Manaphy, as you see. A Tail Glow set, but a very defensive or bulky set with max HP, some Spadef, some solid amount of speed and only 12 special attack. Manaphy absolutely devours any variant of stall he wants to bring. Um, he doesn't have a switch in. Even like AV Amoonguss, unless it's max HP, max Spadef AV, cannot take a +3 Sub-Zero Slammer from this Manaphy set. After Rocks or after Spike potentially. I think like he has to be like Yachi Berry and very specially defensive to take it on potentially. And then like the only thing he could potentially do would be to spore me or hit me with a Giga Drain, which wouldn't even be a 2-hit KO. Besides that, like a plus 3 mana fee, 2-hit KOs, AV Magiana, Okos, First Death Sableye with the Surf, I'm pretty sure, Okos Entei, Okos Amoonguss with the Sub-Zero Slammer, Okos First Death Alomomola with the Energy Ball, and I can like just abuse Alomomola as setup fodder to get +6 potentially. Obviously, Okos Dugtrio without any boost. 2-hit Chaos, AV Blastoise with the +3 Energy Ball, Okos Espen, Okos Lucario, Okos Rotom, Okos Tyrantrum at +3. So he doesn't have like a very solid answer to Manaphy, and he doesn't have like he doesn't have a good check either. Like Rotom Fan has to be scarfed to like come in and try to revenge me, but then he needs quite a lot of prior damage off on Manaphy, and then like I can like when I know he is forced to go for Thunderbolt or Volt Switch, I can just like freely pivot out and save my Manaphy for later, because I actually have a Cleric that I will bring with like Wish support, which will help Manaphy stay alive. The Wish also is like that I'm gonna bring is pretty important for Manaphy to check Entei. It's my best switch into Bandit Entei. Obviously, like Charizard X can potentially like take any 2 hits unless he's like a Stone Edge variant and predicts my Zard to come in. But on a Sacred Fire, Manaphy can always come in, take like 30% or 35% with the investment I have, and then like revenge with the Surf or set up potentially on the Entei. And like the Wish support helps to check Entei all the time. It's also a very solid answer to stuff like Tyrantrum if it's DD or something, because like Jolly Tyrantrum can't Oko Manaphy at +1, I'm fairly certain, and I can always like revenge with the Ice Beam. It can always come in with stuff like Blastoise or Alomomola, unless like my opponent wants to try to Toxic me. It checks Lucario fairly well, can take a hit from Espeon. Even takes, I think the investment here that I have in HP and Spadef helps it like take Specs Flare Cannon from Magiana. I think that's what it was for. And Mega Sableye, if it's special defensive, can chew up some hits from Manaphy. But if it's a Carmine variant, for example, Tailglow just overpowers Sableye. And like once he is at +2, I will be at +6, and I will just like shit on him. Like there's no way he wins that matchup with me. So Manaphy, a fantastic wall versus stuff like Entei, and an enormous threat in the like when it comes to wall breaking my opponent. So that's kind of lit. The next mon I bring is my girl Gogo Yubari here, the Superior, which obviously my opponent has on Amoonguss, but besides that, looking at the squad, it is the fastest mon on the field. Easily, like my opponent's squad is pretty slow, like 65 base speed, 20 base speed, mostly Adamant base 100, base 30, base 65, fast Dugtrio, fast Espeon, slow Blastoise, decently fast Lucario, decently fast Rotom, and slow Tyrantrum. Like Superior with this investment will be the fastest mon on the field besides Dugtrio, and Dugtrio obviously is not a threat to Serb. Leaves some hidden power, ground, knockoff, and synthesis. Synthesis just helps me stay alive versus the squad, and like it recovers up on stuff like Alomomola and Blastoise. I felt like I needed the synthesis, because Superior actually is my best initial switch into the bulky waters my opponent has, and like it can always like come in on potential volt switches that I predict from Rotom or Magiana. Don't take too much damage, and I can just synthesis up potentially. Leaf Storm, Hidden Power, Ground is the only coverage I need. As you see, like his Grass Resist, Magiana, Entei, Amoonguss, and Rotom Fan. Rotom Fan I don't expect to come. If it comes, like it's probably gonna be an offensive variant, and that is like will be overpowered at some point by Stealth Rocks should I get them up, and +2 Leaf Storms that it wants to switch in for instance. So not too big of a deal. Offensive Magiana and offensive Entei are have a chance to be O-code after Rocks by a +2 Hidden Power Ground. I think Entei is O-code after Rocks and a Spike, I think, by a +2 Hidden Power Ground, but I changed the item to Expert Belt, so I'm not like 100% sure on the rolls. I had leftovers on there before that, but that was when I didn't have the synthesis, so I don't quite know. I think like the chances to 2K or OCO stuff are really big. Like Alomomola and Blastoise are just OCO by Leaf Storm if they are physically defensive variant. Espeon can't take a Leaf Storm well. Lucario is OCO by +2 HP ground actually with the expert build. Tyrantrum is OCO by +2 Leaf Storm, which is pretty nice. And like Mega Sableye is obviously gonna get overpowered as well. Knockoff is here to hit the incoming Amoonguss, get rid of a potential Yachi Barrier, potential Assault Vest. That makes it easier for Manaphy to guaranteed OCO it with the Sub-Zero Slammer at +3. And yeah, like it's like Knockoff is just a nice move to lure and stuff like Entei and Amoonguss that can potentially take Leaf Storms fairly well. And then I can get rid of Choice Bands on Ante. I can get rid of Among Us item. Even a Black Sludge, getting rid of that would be pretty nice. I can get rid of an Assault Vest on Magiana if that is his initial switch. And my god, what is wrong with me? His initial switch into Superior, and like just like fire off some knockoffs just to make sure that like his stuff gets worn down more easily, like without any passive recovery or something like that. So yeah, Sub pretty solid in this matchup. Once I get rid of the Among Us, weaken the Ante and weaken the Magiana, this thing can easily sweep. Like nothing can really stop it once I get up, for example, rocks and like get a hit off on the Magiana or the Among Us. It's not like that easy to stop for my opponent. So Superior can function as a nice lure in the early game, and then like as a cleaner in the late game. Next up, we got Greninja here, my boy. Choice specs this time. Enough speed to outspeed Dugtrio. Felt that was necessary. Even though like I don't see him bringing max speed Dugtrio. I think he will either bring a Sash variant, definitely Adamant, I would say, like just to guarantee an Oko on an offensive Zard, for example. Yeah. Or a Scarf variant, in which case I won't outspeed anyway. But I just had to make sure that I can potentially like U-turn out on it before it can hit me with like a reversal or some bullshit, like whatever it wants to do. Like I just want to make sure that my Greninja stays as healthy as possible. Hydro Pump, Dark Pulse. Looking at the squad, nothing can really switch in. Specs, Dark Pulse, has Okos, Alomomola, 2-hit KOs, Alomomola, like Fist Death, Alomomola after spikes. 2-hit KOs, Among Us if it's not AV or especially defensive. 2-hit KOs, Ante, Hydro Pump, obviously Okos. Hydro Pump, 2-hit KOs, offensive Magiana, as well as Fist Death, Sableye. Even like some depth investment won't help Sableye survive 2 Hydro Pumps from Specs Greninja. Blasters can't take Dark Pulse unless it's specially defensive. Espion obviously drops, Lucario will drop, Rotom and Tyrantrum both will drop to a Hydro Pump after some nice chip. So that's pretty nice. U-turn obviously for momentum, trying to scout what his initial switching is, and spikes because Mega Sableye is never coming in on a Specs Greninja or Greninja in general unless he like has the hard read that I have the spikes. Spikes will come in super handy in this game. Like I don't really see him bring Blasters because he has the Mega Sableye and can like just prevent hazards if he wants to. And spikes, like the more layers I get up, the better. To be honest, spikes will just like really help me whittle down his fat core, like pressure the Regen core, pressure the Sableye, pressure the Magiana, put stuff in range for either Manaphy or Superior to sweep potentially. I'm like, I don't ever think Sableye is coming in on Greninja, so I'm hoping to get up at least one layer of spikes and then potentially like 2-hit KO stuff the next time it wants to come in on the Gren. Dark Pulse is a very spammable move versus his team, unless he like decides to go hard to Magiana on my Gren, and then like even if he does, like the chip is very solid versus Magiana, so I'm not too worried about that. What I didn't cover, I think, here on my Manaphy was enough speed for max speed Lucario, obviously, and Element Ante. So, yeah, didn't mention that. But like here, Greninja definitely has the chance to put in some fine work and gives me a nice momentum with U-turn to like find the right matchups I want. Like if Among Us is his initial switch and I can capitalize on that, U-turn out, bring in my Zard X and go from there. If like Magiana is the switch and I can U-turn, bring in my Zard X and go from there. If Alomomola or Blasters are the initial switch and I can bring in my Manaphy or my Superior and go from there. So very nice to have this initiative move versus the Starly squad here. The defense investment, yeah, I actually, as you see, I only have 244 instead of 252 special attack on my Grand, because the defense investment allows me to live a Bandit Adamant extreme speed after taking rocks twice. So I think Bandit Adamant E-speed will be like 74.7 max or something. So I'm guaranteed to live that hit should he get up rocks. I have to take rocks twice. So that's kind of nice. I could potentially take him, catch him off guard or something. But yeah, just trying to make sure, because I don't really need investment in special attack anyway. Next up, I got my boy Charizard X. I contemplated a lot what kind of set I wanted to bring. I decided to bring a set that outspeeds max speed Magearna and always Okos with Flare Blitz unless it's an Ockerberry variant. I wanted a bulky set because I don't want to lose the Duck Trio, and I wanted Sword Stance or DD just to like pressure a Lomomola and Blasters on the switch and with the Dragon Claw. Like plus the Dragon Claw, obviously a Lomomola can take 2, but then it's forced to wish up, which allows me to go for another Sword Stance on the Protect potentially, and then like if he wants to Toxic me, I'm guaranteed to get a kill, basically, because then I will do up to like 75% with the Dragon Claw or something at +4. Sword Stance like just like pressures stuff like Sableye a lot, stuff like Entei a lot, stuff like even Magearna. Like once Zard is at +2, like if I for some reason get to +2 for free, I'm guaranteed to get a kill potentially. Like if he lets me set up and then goes into Alo will like be 2 KO'd after like taking Stealth Rock and potentially Spikes damage, or vice versa, obviously. And like I can potentially always get to +4, +6 on the Alo or the Blastoise, which is really nice. So that's kind of hype, I guess. The defense investment is here to take an adamant non-banded Earthquake from Duck Trio after Rocks. So that's like 74.8% max or something. I don't really need attack investment unless I really want to break a Lomomola and Amoonguss, but I obviously have my Manaphy to do just that. Manaphy will function as my wall breaker, while Zard has the potential to sweep in the late game, which is pretty nice. It's also backup check to Bandit Entei should I let my Magearna get weakened too much, and if I'm like unable to pass a wish into it or something, in which case like Zard offers to be a nice backup check. The SpDef investment is like some investment for some Magearna. Like I think I can live like a modest non-specs Flare Cannon or something, or even a specs Flare Cannon. I have no idea. I think even a specs Flare Cannon, like I should live that. So that's kind of hype. The speed, as I said, only for enough for Magearna. I don't really want to outspeed Entei because then I would lose out on some bulk. I don't want to outspeed Lucario because I can always live a hit from it, even at +2 close combat does not kill. +2 focus blast will, but I'm not too worried about Lucario as it doesn't set up on anything on my team. Basically, you can always like go hard into Zard and then hit him with the Flare Blitz to knock him out or something, or like just go into Manaphy, which checks Lucario fairly well. So not really worried. I reckon I should be fine, especially because my Registeel that I have functions as a nice lure for Lucario with the Choppleberry, Earthquake, Safeguard, Stealth Rock, and Counter Arm. A very interesting set, in my opinion. The investment here is pretty sick. I contemplate going with the what's it called? With the Sugarberry set with the counter, but I felt like Duck Trio isn't like the biggest threat to Registeel. I can like even without the Sugarberry, I don't take more than like 60%, even from Bandit Dougie from the Earthquake, so I can like always counter it to death, which is nice, and then like make it useless versus stuff like Zard or something. And like I'm willing to trade my Registeel for Duck Trio anyway, and I felt like the Choppleberry was more important, as Choppleberry like also allows me to learn Lucario and potentially like take the close combat. Even at +2 I can take the close combat easily with the Choppleberry and just knock it out. Registeel is also a nice switch into Tyrantrum. Even the +1 Earthquake will never like 2 KO me, I think. I can counter it, I can Earthquake it. Earthquake, as you see, like is very solid coverage with this team. Like all the stuff that likes to switch into Registeel, or that Registeel is supposed to counter or switch into, doesn't enjoy like taking an Earthquake. Like Magearna doesn't enjoy an Earthquake, Entei doesn't enjoy an Earthquake. Duck Trio wants to trap me, like I can 2 KO with Earthquake easily. Lucario can't take an Earthquake too well. Neither can Tyrantrum, so I don't really need much else. His only like immunity to Earthquake or resist is the Rotom Fan, which I just don't see coming, and can always like pressure it with the Stealth Rock. The Topple Berry also allows me to guarantee like get up Stealth Rock should he like decide to trap me with Dactrio or like just trying to set up with Lucario on me. Like if he doesn't go hard into Sableye, like Register is guaranteed to get up Stealth Rock, which is super nice. And like with the Topple Berry, I can guarantee that even if I'm weakened, take it from Lucario and get up rocks potentially. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's like Safeguard. Obviously, you already know what like why I have that on the set because like Alomomola will spread toxic, Blasters will spread toxic, Amoonguss will try to spore some stuff. I don't have a nice spore switch in because my grass type is super weak to Amoonguss actually and can't break it. Mega Sableye wants to spread Will-O-Wisp potentially, like getting up a Safeguard on a potential like Amoonguss or Alomomola switching on my Registeer. Could help me set up for free with my Zardex. Like, let's say I get up a Safeguard while he switches into a Alomomola, I can like get up a Safeguard and then I have 3 turns left. I go into Zard, SD up, and then hit some stuff. Like, you can Toxic me for like 4 or 5 turns, and then I will already be at plus 2 or plus 4. So, if you Toxic me, then like I'll take that because then plus 4 Zap just wins the game basically, or like just dances team to a point where Greninja potentially can clean up, which is kind of hype. So, yeah, that's registered for this weekend. Now, my last mon is my girl L Driver here, the Togekiss. Togekiss alongside Manaphy just devours any variant of stall he wants to bring. Like his top 6 that I really expect him to bring, or even his top 4, or like his, not top 4, top 7, and or his top 7 plus Lucario, they just can't deal with wish passing Togekiss into setup Manaphy at all. Like Togekiss here with the Chardy Berry is like can even take a Bandit Head Smash from Tyrantrum and like just Oko with the Dazzling Gleam with the investment that I have. It can like take any hits from Magiana that aren't specs. It can just shut down the Sableye. It can air slash flinch Amoonguss potentially always 3 at KO it. It can check Dactrio fairly well. Like Dactrio can never 2 KO with Stonage because of the Charty Berry. It can Wish Protect up, stall out Stonages. It can air slash flinch Blastoise and like get some nice damage off, which is hype. I have enough speed for Tyrantrum, obviously, just to, like Dazzling Gleam it, and then like if he's a Scarf variant, he will drop to the Dazzling Gleam. I live with the Charty Berry, which is nice. So that could be hype. I can live 1 Flash Cannon from Modest Lucario, which is cool, and hit it with a big Air Slash or Dazzling Gleam. Espeon can't 2 KO me unless it specs, I think, and like unless it packs like Thunderbolt or something. I don't even know if it gets it, but I don't think so. So that's pretty nice. Like Togekiss here as my cleric. I wish I was able to put Heal Bell somewhere on there, but sadly I don't. Like I don't really find a way to do just that. Like I need the Air Slash to potentially get some damage off on the Entei and to like weaken Amoonguss. Like Amoonguss can be quite annoying should I play my Zard or my Manaphy like a bitch or something. In which case, like I just need Air Slash to potentially wear it down and then go from there. So his best switch into Togekiss obviously is the Magiana as it resists both steps. In which case I can just wish and go for free into my Register, receive the wish, and then like hit the Magiana with a nice Earthquake. I can just like wish and go into my Zardex, knowing that I can take a Flash Cannon or a Volt Switch, receive the wish, be back up to full, and like play around play around this threat like fairly easily. So yeah, that's the squad this week. Pretty interesting team. I think it matches up well versus Stall, even though like Dactrio obviously is a problem. But I feel like Manaphy and Zardex at some point will be able to overpower Davion's Stall squad here, especially if I get up Spikes plus Rocks. Like I'm pretty positive I will lead with the Registeer, just because I want Rocks up, and if he doesn't lead with Mega Sableye, I'm guaranteed to get them up. So I can even live like I think excuse me, a Bandit Sacred Fire from Entei with the investment I have, which would allow me to guarantee get up the Stealth Roper's Death Lead. Obviously I can take any one hit from Dactrio if he leads with that, which will allow me to get up Stealth Rock. I can potentially like get up rocks versus everything else basically. Lucario obviously because of Chop Block can get up rocks and then like go from there. Like at some point, one of my like 4 offensive threats I feel will overpower the stall and then like I will win the game because like once he gets rid of one counter, let's just assume he brings his top 6. Manaphy comes in on Sableye, Entei, and Dactrio. Go to +3, and then he has to sack them on. And if he sacks Amoonguss, my girl Superior wins. If he sacks Lomomola to the Energy Ball, Zard X wins. Like it just wins if like Lomomola is gone. If he sacks Sable, I get a Brox and Spikes, and I win guaranteed because I force him to switch out a lot with the threats that I have. If he goes into Magearna, I can weaken that and like go from there. Like if it's an AV Magearna, it's fine. I can always like live a hit, get to +6 and knock it out if I want to. And like if it brings a +6, I can potentially just win with the with the Manaphy on its own. Like I don't really like the thing is like it's like once you get rid of one mon on a stall team, you basically have dealt with the stall team successfully already. Like without Amoonguss, obviously Sir wins. Without Sableye, everything wins. Like without Entei, my Superior also looks much better. Without Magearna, like his only means of really good offense versus my team would be gone. And like without Dagi, Zard X has the potential to just win. Like it's just such a like stall is a nice concept in general, but when you can prep for it, it's like you have to play it really well in order to not get beaten, obviously. And like I feel like this squad here will do a fairly good job versus the stall team. So that's the squad: my Manaphy, Superior, Greninja, Charizard X, Registry, and Togekiss. Hope you guys enjoyed the team builder. The battle will obviously go up on Monday, some point tomorrow. So I don't know if I will upload this on Saturday or Sunday, but it definitely will go up on Monday. So be hyped for that. Definitely go check out my boy Davion, very cool guy, good friend of mine. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like in the comment if you did, and catch you in the battle. See ya.